Good morning, everybody. So, I hope that you guys are having an awesome morning. We are back again for our ninth time. I cannot believe that this is the ninth week that we've been doing this. And here I was when I was given this idea. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it a week. I wasn't sure how it was going to be in the first place. Um, there was so much doubt and there was so much fear that was going through my mind that, I didn't know how it was going to play out. And here we are for the ninth time, the ninth week, and we're still rocking and rolling. What? Y'all, if you don't do what you're afraid of, I don't know what to tell you. Whatever that thing is that is causing you some type of anxiety, if you're doubting about, whether this is going to work, whether I have enough, whether I have enough knowledge, whether I'm even going to be able to speak to people, whether I'm going to be able to connect, whatever it is that you're worried about, and whatever it is that you're fearful about, honey, do it. Do it today. Like, run, y'all know what I say. Run towards fear. Understand why you're feeling that way. And if it is not going to cause any bodily harm, and if it's not going to, if it's not going to be detrimental to you, not your feelings, but to you and your body and your family, do it. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And that's going to segue in. First of all, that wasn't even planned, but that's going to segue right into what we're going to be talking about today about using what you have. So I got to tell y'all that I had a whole thing planned for today, right? I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to talk about this. This is what's going to be. This is what's going to be lined up. And I was reading my Bible and, pretty much focusing on what I was going to talk about. And I just kept reading. And I came across this story. And I know I've heard of this story, right? I know that I know this isn't the first time that I've heard of it. But for some reason, this story stood out to me. And I know that even though I've heard it before, or I could have heard it before, I'm not sure. I might be mixing stuff up. But even though I think I've heard it before, I've never thought about the things that I thought about when I heard it. So this time it brought something else out, which I'm telling you guys, like, and that sometimes you can sit there and read something and you'll get what it is that you need at that time. And then you can come back maybe a year later, even a couple months later, and read that same thing, and you'll get something totally different. And you're like, what? I didn't even see that was there. What in the world? So that's what's happening right here. So I want to take y'all to 2 Kings 4:1-7, right? So we're not gonna read it. I'll just summarize it for you. So here we are. We have this lady who her husband dies, right? So she's like, man, experiencing the worst. So now she's a widow. And she comes to Elisha and is like, look, man, I need you to help me because I owe people. I owe them, and they're going to come and they're going to take my 2 sons away. And I'm afraid that they're going to take them into slavery. So I need your help. And he's like, yo, what do you have? What do you have in your house? And y'all, I want to outline that. This man did not say, do you know somebody who can help you? Do you know somebody with some money? You might want to borrow something. Do you have a job? Can you get a job? You know, we can see about working some side things. We can do about that. He didn't say to reach anywhere outside of her. He said, what do you have in your house? So today, I'm asking you guys what you have in your house. What are those talents? What are those gifts? What are those things that you're working with that you can use and you can bring forward for God to multiply? Because the thing is that she sat there and said, okay, well, look, this ain't no vessel, right? But I've got one vessel of oil. I've got one. I've got one. This isn't going to do much, but this is all I had. And he's like, all right, well, that's all you got. Then go borrow more vessels and come back and pour what you have into the others. And the thing is that he made clear was that don't go now and just get a few of them. Get a lot of them. Get as many as you can and bring them back. So that's what she did, right? She got everything that her and her sons got, everything that they could. And they come back and then they're pouring. And it just keeps happening. It just keeps flowing. And all these things are just, we're like, wait, where the oil coming from? The oil's just pouring out of here. And the thing is that it did not stop until there were no more vessels. So once we came to the last one, we filled that one up, and she was like, she asked her sons, is there some more? Like, this is amazing. Do we have any more? And they're like, no, that's it. That's it. We borrowed everything that we could. And then that's when it stopped. So there are I was reading that story and I was like, wow, it is so rich. It's so rich. Because the thing is that, and I'm saying I was, but I still am going to make a video about this, right? Is that the fact is that so often we pray for and ask for things that we already have. We don't take inventory of what we have in our house. So we're praying for, Lord, please, can you give me confidence to be able to do this thing? Can you give me peace? Can you give me the capacity to love? Can you give me this thing that I already have inside of me? We're asking for those things. And, just like I had said before in another video of mine, is that everything that you need, and sometimes we don't realize that everything that you need is already inside of you. God already placed everything. He knew you before he made you. He placed everything that you need inside of you. So there's nothing that you lack. So let's get that straight. Because sometimes, you're thinking and looking at different people and what they're bringing to the table and what they're doing. And it causes us to sit there and say, oh my goodness, I don't speak as well as she does or he does. Oh, I don't make as much money as they do. Oh, I don't have the status that they do. Oh, my children aren't as well-mannered as their children are. Whatever. So we look at other people and we're comparing ourselves and our situation with theirs. And a lot of times we'll compare what they have versus what we have internally, what they're working with, what are their talents, what are their gifts. And then we sit there and focus on what we lack or what we think we lack. So they have more confidence than I do because they're able to speak in front of people. They're able to go live. They're able to post videos. They're able to do this. No, they don't. They don't have any more confidence than you do. I don't care if you're an introvert. extra, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. The confidence level is the same. You have the same amount as anyone else. But the thing is that, and have y'all realized that is that although we pray for those things, have you looked at what you get when you pray for those things? When you pray for more confidence, when you pray for more peace, what do you get? Do you get more confidence? Do you get more peace? Or do you get situations in which you have to use it? Because I don't know about y'all, but if I pray for peace, I got kids. Okay. It wasn't like this magical thing that just happened and boom, wow, I am the most zen person here. I've got everything together. I am not worried about anything. I'm just smelling flowers. That's not how it happened. This is a process and you don't skip that process. The thing is you bring what you have and you say, I need more confidence, but I already got it. I've already got it. So Lord, what I need you to do is multiply it. I need you to give me situations because he's already going to do it anyway. You're asking for confidence. He's going to give you situations in which you need to be bold, in which you need to be brave. You're asking for peace. He's going to give you situations that he's going to put you in some distress. You're asking for love. He's going to give you people who need to be loved. That's how it works. So you use what you have. So y'all, like, what is in your house? We need to take inventory of what it is that we have and what it is that we can use. What are our gifts? What are our talents? What are our passions? What are our desires? What are the things that he's placed inside of us? What is in our house that we can use to give to others? Because what we've been called to do is to shine our light, to be that light. And the thing is that you're supposed to be shining it as bright as you can. And why? Not so, man, you can look at me and be like, wow, Christina she is doing it. She is doing it. And that I see her light, she's like so bright. No, it's not for that. It's not to bring attention to me, but I'm shining my light and you're shining your light so then other people can see you and be like, whoa, where'd she get that light from? I want one too. You know what, matter of fact, I have one. So shine yours so bright that other people realize that they have one themselves. And they're like, oh shoot, let me bring it out. Let me put some batteries in here and turn mine on so now I can do the same. So what are you housing? What things are you thinking that you're lacking and that you don't have enough of? Because I guarantee you have everything that you need. So there are a few points that I want you guys to leave with. And I'm thinking that we probably are going to be done early today. But there's a few points, okay? So one, like we said, use what you have. So we are going to leave here today, not worried about us not having enough, not worried about us not being enough, and not having what we need to bring to the table when we've been called to do something, when we're feeling led to do something. You have everything that you need, regardless of the fact of whether it takes you outside of your comfort zone, whether it makes you uncomfortable, whether it causes you a bit of anxiety, whether it makes you sweat, whether you turn red, whether it's it does not feel good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The emotions that you have, put those aside. Put those aside for this. I know that emotions can serve as guideposts, but in this situation, honey, when they're trying to keep you from doing what you're supposed to be doing, or what's been laid on your heart, put those things aside. Put them aside. Everything that you need is already inside of you. And what you think you don't have enough of, bring what you have and God can multiply it. Just like those vessels. Just just like that oil. She had the oil. She did not go outside of herself to get the oil. It wasn't where she had to borrow it. She borrowed the vessels. So that's the other thing. Y'all, during this journey, you are going to need other people. So network, so connect, so support other people. Be the person that you want other people to be to you. Y'all know the golden rule. Y'all know this. So do the things that you would want people to reciprocate to you. Be that person. If it's where you need more support from other people, give that support. If you need more love from other people, give that love. If it's where, shucks, you want people to donate and to help you, donate to other people, help other people, support other people. That's how it works. So she didn't get there by herself. Of course, she used Elisha, which in turn, she because Elisha was sent by God. So of course it's going to be where, we need God on this journey. That's who is putting all this stuff together and how this is all working together. But the thing is that he also places other people on our paths that are going to help us get to where we need to be. So don't think that, okay, well, I got God, I got me, forget everybody else. That is not the point. That's not the point at all. He is very strategic in what he does and how he moves situations and places people in position to be able to help you. And the thing is that we've got to be humble and we've got to remain humble. And that was one of the things that was my issue, right? I was prideful. And for me, I mean, that's still an issue that I struggle with. But I was very prideful and thought that, I have everything together. Like I don't need nobody. I don't, that's how I've always been. It's just like I don't need anybody. Y'all don't y'all don't want to support me, then that's fine. It is what it is. I can do this by myself. And that's kind of the attitude that I took. And that attitude just like snowballed into like I don't even put myself out there for other people to be able to help, to be a blessing, because one, of a fear of rejection, and then two, because I felt like I could do it myself. Like, you don't nobody want to help me. I ain't asking for no handouts. What? That don't even make no sense. But that's how I felt. And that's one of the things that I admire and I still admire about my husband is that he is so humble, so humble. And just the spirit that he has. And it's a lot of things. And like I said, y'all, you need other people because I don't even know if my husband understands how much I look at him and I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes. And a lot of the pridefulness that I had, I was able to shed because I looked at him. And it's like, here you go. You got a grown man and he's willing to learn from other people. He's willing to put his, take out his notebook. Like, look, I don't care if you're younger than me. I don't care if, whatever. It doesn't matter. If you can help me, I'm all for it. Let's go. Let's do this. And that's just the spirit that he has. And I thought that was so amazing and still think that that's so amazing that it doesn't matter where he reaches, where he goes, like he's always willing, one, to reach back, and he's always willing to reach up and to gain knowledge from, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter. if they didn't get along, beforehand, and they lost contact or whatever it is, and now they cross paths. It doesn't matter. He puts all that stuff aside and he's like, hey, what's up? Let's work together. Let's do this thing. And that's just so amazing. So put your pride aside and understand that you are going to need people on this journey. And there are people who not only who have been assigned to you for you to help them, but there's also people who have been assigned to you who are to help you get to where you want to be. So that's how it works. That's how it works. Because you're also assigned to other people who you're supposed to be helping get to where. That's just how it works. That's how it works. So the third point is to do what God is telling you to do. Y'all know I say this all the time. If God is leading you somewhere, He's not leading you to fail. He's not leading you out onto the water to drown. The only way that you do that is if you take your eyes out. You just like take your eyes off of them. And so you're out there. You're like, look, I got this. Thanks. Thanks for getting me here. I got it from here. That's when you sink. And I've done that on multiple occasions. Honey, when I quit my job, I did that. I had such a close relationship, right? Because I wanted to make sure that what I was doing was the right thing. So I was reading, I was praying. I would have, I would sit still, in stillness. I would communicate with God throughout my day. I would talk to Him before I made any moves. I was doing this, I was doing that. Like our relationship was like this. And then I quit. And then I was like, all right. So I did what you said. I got this from here on out. I'm good. I don't think I need you anymore. All right. So we'll talk later. Peace. And honey, I drowned. It was tough. It was tough. But that was the key piece. And I would sit there and go back and be like, God, why would you leave me out here? Why would you have me leave my job if it was going to be this hard? If this was going to happen, why would you leave me out here? And he like, because you didn't understand the assignment. I led you out so I could lead you where I wanted you to go. But you left and you led yourself. This ain't on me. And it sure enough wasn't. So do what God is calling you to do, but don't leave Him out. Don't leave Him out. To do the things that she was told to do, right? And even Elisha, to be able to even tell her what to do, to be able to even lead her in the way that she was to go, to even be of assistance to her. He needed to be connected. And that's one thing, if you read the story of Elisha, that's one thing that he remained. He remained connected. Well, he was connected. So God was able to work through him to reach her and to be able to help guide her to where she needed to be. That's how it works. That's how it works. You've got to remain connected. Y'all know how I always say, stay plugged into the source. You've got to remain plugged in because that is where your knowledge flows. That is where that confidence is multiplied. That is where all the things that you need come forth and they're being developed. Everything that you need is already inside of you, but God is the plug to be able to light that fire, to be able to multiply what you have, to be able to back you in situations where you feel like I'm about to fall. Like, Lord, I don't think I can do this. He's there holding your back and saying, look, I got this. You got this. Come on, let's do it. So don't leave him out. Don't leave him out. And even when it does not make sense, still do it. Because a lot of times we're led in directions and we're told to do things that doesn't make sense. Just like go borrow all these vessels and you're going to pour that one jar, that one vessel of oil into all of these things. She could have been like, yo, look, if you can't help me, if you couldn't have helped me, then why don't you just say it? Because you got me running around here getting stuff. And I told you I only have one vessel of oil. I've got one jar. That's it. How in the world am I going to sit there and pour multiples? That doesn't even make any sense. She could have done that and she would have been right where she was. And then the person would have came and got her sons and that would have been it for her. But she said, okay, I take you at your word and I'm going to do it anyway. Even though it doesn't make sense, even though people are probably going to be looking at me crazy, it doesn't matter. I take you at your word. Are you doing the same? Is it where God is leading you and you are taking him at his word? Are you taking him for his word? And you're realizing that, look, you wouldn't lead me somewhere to fail. If it's got you in it and if it's got your name on it, I'm all for it. So even if it doesn't make sense, still do it, y'all. Still do it. Still do it. Okay, so the next one, so number 4, we got a point. Number 4 is God will, this one, like y'all, God will only pour into you to the extent that you allow him to. Okay, so the thing is that here we go with these vessels of oil. She's got all these things. I don't know how many, right? Because it didn't say, but she's got all these vessels, everything that she could borrow. And she's pouring and she's pouring and she's pouring and she's pouring. And all of them are filled to the brim. Pouring, 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 pouring. But once the vessels ran out, there was no more, the oil ran out. So you have to make yourself available for him to pour into you, for him to give you, for him to be able to multiply the things that you have and that you're already working with, and those gifts and those talents, and for him to be able to hone those skills and those talents and those gifts, those things that you're working with, so that you can be effective when you're out there and you're working with the people that he wants you to work with, for him to be able to bring the people that are supposed to help you get into position. You've got to make yourself available. He will only pour into you to the extent that you are there. Make yourself available, saying, look, I'm here. What is it that you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to say? You give me the guidance, you give me the direction, and I'll go. But he's only going to be able to do that if you make yourself available. So make yourself available, y'all. Make yourself available. Okay, so the last point, which is number 5. When you are on your journey and when you're doing the things that God has called you to do, he'll provide for you. He'll provide for you. But not only this is the part, right? This is the kicker. Not only will he provide for you, he will do so abundantly, above what you thought he would do. Honey, this is the thing. And I'm going to pull this up real quick, right? I'm going to pull this up real quick because I don't even want to summarize this part. I don't want to summarize this part. So here we go. So He says, so now we've got all the vessels of oil, right? All those vessels of oil. Elisha says, now go, sell the oil and pay your debts, and you and your sons can live on the rest. No, he didn't. So he said that not only she came to him and says, look, I don't have enough money. I got this debt to pay, and they're going to take my sons. And I really, really, I need some money to be able to pay this debt. That's all I want to do. I just want to pay this debt. I just want to get that over with. So I don't have to worry about them taking my sons. Like, can you help me? She came with a specific problem. She came saying that she wanted to pay a specific debt. And not only was it where God was freed her from the debt and she was able to pay that debt off, but now her and her sons, her and her two sons can now live off of it. Yeah. And you wondering whether if you take this leap of faith, if you do the things that he's calling you to do, will you have enough? Will you be enough? Will you be able to pay your bills? What? You wondering that? And here he is. Not only will you be able to pay your bills, it ain't just about paying your bills. You're going to have over that amount. Not only will you be enough, honey, you're going to be the best. Like, it's not, there is no lack when it comes to God and what he can do and how he can provide. There is no lack. So if that's the case, there is no lack when it comes to you. You lack nothing. No good thing does he withhold. So what are you questioning? Why are you on the fence? Why are you wondering whether you should do this thing? Do it. Go for it. Go all out and make sure you keep him with you. So that's all I have for today. Look at me. Look at that. 30 minutes. And I'm going to go to the comments. So good. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So let's read this. And they say unto him, we have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes. You know, God is a multiplier. You better bring this. Yes. The disciples with faith had all they needed to feed the multitude, but Jesus had to step in because they did not see the possibilities. And how often do we not see the possibilities? How often do we not see the things that we can do and what we're capable of and what God is capable of? We think sometimes so small. It's time for y'all to think bigger. We've got examples laced in the Bible. There's several different instances of where you come with little, I come with this, and you multiply it. But the thing is that we've got to say they come with something. They come with the thing. So what do you have in your house? What are you working with? What is it that you can come with and say, look, I've got this. I just need you to multiply it. Come with it. And I said, that's all I got. That's all I got. So I want addition and multiplication, not division. And yes, that is what he does. He adds to, he multiplies. There's not using, and then all of a sudden you don't have enough. And I'm going to, y'all, now that you just said this, Miss Owens, look, because I literally just had this thing that I thought about, because I've already expressed this, y'all. God was leading me in a direction, in a direction that was totally opposite from what I was doing. So y'all know I'm in real estate, right? And that was what I would talk about all the time is real estate. And the things that were happening, home buying, blah, blah, blah. And I get this tap on my shoulder, like, look, I want you to talk about something different. And I'm like, what? Talk about that's totally different from what I was talking about. Like, you just want me to flip the script, and I don't know if I'm ready for this, right? And so once I became more open to what he was leading me to do, I would post a video here, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, and then I would go away. And then maybe the next month I would post another video and it's like, here, oh, I would go away. And the thing, one, I would be so scared. It would scare me from the response that it got, right? The response would scare me because um I didn't want people to think that like I'm this expert on this stuff and I've got everything together and I'm, like so confident and because I'm not. And I was like, okay, I don't even want to respond. I don't even want to do this. Like this isn't what I do, guys. I'm literally just saying the words that I'm getting. I'm literally just a mouthpiece. So I would drop it here and there and whatever. But what I had to really evaluate was why I was doing that. And one of the things that I was scared of, and really that was a big thing that I was scared of, was that I was going to run out of things to say. So I'm like, if I talk all the time about these things and I'm doing, what it is that you want me to do, but that's fine. But you're saying you want me to do this more often. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I can do this more often because I'm literally not there. Like I haven't made it. So who am I to talk about these things? And how is it that I only know it so much. So at some point, my knowledge is going to fall off. So I'm like, I am not a preacher. I am not, somebody who has like gone to school and studied the Bible and done this and done that. I'm not some mindset expert. Like that's not me. So Lauren, like I'm afraid. I'm afraid that I'm going to run out of topics. And what I saw was, and this is what happened, is that I got so what would happen before is that I would be asleep. I would be sleeping, and that's normally when things come to me. I'd be sleeping, and then something comes, and I'm like, oh shucks. I have my phone by my bed, and I always type text messages to myself. Don't ask me why I do text messages and not notes, but that's a whole nother story. But I text myself, like whatever it is that's in my head, I got to get it out. And I would do that. And so I'm like, okay, so he's giving me stuff to say. He's giving me things to say. But what I noticed was that stopped happening once I stopped. Once I allowed the fear of running out of things to say stop me from continually producing content and putting out videos and putting out, quotes, putting out things, I ran out of stuff to talk about. That's how it worked. When I started keeping those things of just like, okay, well, look, he gave me something. So then I'm going to keep this for next week. And then I'll use something for this week. So then I'll be able to, so then I know I'll have enough. When I started storing that stuff, that's when it stopped coming. And then here it is now where I'm literally posting something every single day, except for one day. And it's supposed to be Sundays, but last week it was Sunday that I posted, but whatever. Every single day. For 6 days out of the week, I am posting something. I am putting out something, and it's new, and it's different, and it's this. But what I'm seeing is that the more that I'm giving, the more that I'm posting, the more that I'm putting out, the more that I'm getting. And that's how it works. Y'all can sit there and say, you can go into this and say, look, I don't know if I have enough. You can be questioning that. You can have it where you're doubtful of the knowledge that you have. You're doubtful of the confidence that you have. You're doubtful of the things that you're bringing to the table because you don't know if you have enough. But the thing is that you bring what you have, and you're connected to who has enough. He will constantly give you what you need. He will multiply what you have, but you've got to use what you got. You got to step out there, and you got to leave the doubt behind. Leave the doubt behind. Leave the fear behind. Leave the worry. Leave the anxiety. Leave all that stuff. You can feel it. You can acknowledge it. Okay, hey, how you doing? And then keep it moving, because I'm still going to step out. And that is the thing that I think that the devil is so afraid of. And that's why when you're on the verge of like something happening, or on the verge of you stepping out, or you making that decision of like, okay, he's calling me here, I'm going to go. That is when he comes and he is just throwing stuff at you. Like, it is like all hell breaks loose, because he knows that if you step out on this, if you do the things that he's telling you to do, and you use what he has, what you have, oh my gosh, what's going to happen is that God is going to multiply it, and you're going to be even more powerful than what you are now. I can't have that. He can't have that. So he's like, no. We got to stop. We got to stop. We got to stop her. We got to stop him. And that's what was happening. I allowed that fear to kind of keep me. So I'm like, look, I'm not trying to look stupid. Okay. I'm not trying to have it where I'm talking about the same exact thing over and over again, or I just run out of topics, or I just fall off and just go away because I can no longer do this anymore. Like, I don't want that to happen. So I stayed stagnant for a while. And it wasn't until I stepped out and I said, you know what? It is what it is. Let me use what I have. I'm going to bring to the table what I have. And we're just going to see what happens. And that is what happened. I brought to the table what I had, and he multiplied it, and he continues to multiply it. The more I use, the more I get, the more that I'm able to sit here and write down. And it's like, now it's just like, oh my gosh, let me go downstairs. I gotta record this video. Oh my gosh, it feels like now I have too much. But that's what happens, y'all. He's not only going to give you what you need, he's going to go over and above. So if you don't think that you have enough, guess what? Use what you have, and he will give you what you need, and he will give you above and beyond that. Y'all. I tell you, yes. So you've got to, in order to get the download, you got to be connected. You have to be connected to the source. You got to be plugged up. That's what it is. When you've got Alexa on the table, look, if she ain't plugged up, you can say Alexa as much as you want. She ain't gonna respond back to you. Same thing. You got to be plugged up. You got to have that constant power running through you. And that's how we get those downloads. That's how we get those ideas, by remaining connected. So God doesn't call the equipped, but he equips the call. Yes. And that's one thing that we need to remind ourselves of. And that's one thing that we need to be rooted in, is that I don't have to feel I have everything together. I just need to bring what I have to the table. And if he's calling me here, if he's leading me here, I can hang my hat on, and I can be sure that where he's calling me, he's not calling me out there to make a fool of myself. He's not calling me out to fail. I'm going to be good. Said fear, false evidence appearing real. Yes, feel the feels, including fear. Acknowledge it. Look, you're human. We feel those things for a reason. That's okay. It's nothing wrong with feeling it, but do it anyway. And do it. There we go. Do it anyway. Use what you have, because what you have with God is enough. Thank you. You got enough. You got enough. And you guys, like, come on. Come on. Let's do this. So wherever he's calling you, go. Go. Go for it. Go do it. Do that thing that makes you fearful. Do that thing that you've been worried about, whether you are going to succeed at it. Do it. All right, y'all. So we are going to be back. Y'all know we do this every week. Every week, every Wednesday, we're going to be back. And I will talk to you guys then. I want you guys to have an awesome, amazing, spectacular day and run towards fear. Okay? All right. I'll talk to you guys later.